All right, welcome to our April edition of the Market Update. As always, we're going to look at the new trends. We're going to talk about the housing inventory, as far as the sold and the available inventory. But most importantly, the seasonality curves as we step into the spring market. What's the changes? What are we seeing? Well, right now we're sort of in an odd little transition as we're going into the spring market. The market has continued to have upward movement, and that at certain periods of time we're seeing little moments of stalling out, especially in the Denver metro area. We had certain areas where the market was stalling out a little bit, but the last 30 days, consistent climbing as far as buyer activity as well as inventory that's hitting the market as well. So overall, the housing market still is favorable and favoring sellers, but we're starting to see a little bit of a shift in trending towards historical norms. What that means is we're starting to see the numbers of appreciation slow down a little bit. In the last 12, 18, 24 months, we've seen appreciation anywhere from 15 to as much as 18 and 19% in certain markets. One market hit 22% appreciation. So we're starting to see those numbers come down. I would say in the last 12 months, we've probably been a little bit more of the 8 to 12% appreciation. And I predict in 2019 that we're going to be in that 5 to 7, maybe 8% range, depending on the market and also depending on the price point. Obviously, when you look at the average sales price, those markets are going to be a little bit more active. And then anything below the average sales price, that pool of inventory is always going to be on the lower side because it's obviously the most affordable for the market. So let's jump into the numbers. So when we look at the numbers, 4,301 homes are currently on the market in the Denver metro area. And in the month of March, 2,152 homes sold. We look at the Boulder market, 744 homes currently on the market, and of those, 251 homes sold in the Boulder market. That means a 39.44 increase since the month of February. And Denver metro area was actually 26% increase in that market. Weld County, 902 homes currently on the market right now. And of those, 464 have sold with a 35.28% increase in sales from February over to March. 943 homes have sold, 943 homes available in Larimer County. 412 homes that went under contract, and that's a 43% increase from February sales. So when we look at average days on the market, the average days on the market still are trending fairly consistent, especially as we go into the spring market. Again, we're starting to see some adjustments, but in the Colorado Front Range, we're pretty much going to be under 30 days. I do strongly believe that it's a very price-sensitive market. And what I mean by that is there's still a lot of sellers out there and even agents that are taking homes that are going to be a little bit more on the speculative side. And what we're seeing is if you're going to speculate more than 1 to 2%, then you're definitely going to have a longer time frame and longer span on the market, which is okay if you're pretty flexible in your timing. But what we are seeing is there is a pool of buyers out there that are ready, willing, and able to purchase a home. So within that first 30 days, that pool of buyers will go through your home. And if you don't snag that one buyer, then you're waiting for new buyers to come into the marketplace, meaning their lease is up, relocation buyers, whatever that motivation piece is. But it's definitely a much slower process. So the market is very sensitive to pricing your home correctly based upon the competition that's out there now. Denver metro area, when we look at average days on the market, 32 days on the market. You can see again seasonality curves, how we typically peak in January as far as the longest time on the market. Boulder County, same thing, peaks in December, January, 59 days average on the market currently, and that's list to close. So typically going under contract somewhere in that 3 to 4 or 5 week time frame, and then under contract there. And again, this is across the board on all price points. So anywhere from your entry level all the way up to the luxury market. 71 in Weld County and 83 in Larimer County, which seems to be a little bit more one of our more consistent markets. Forecast for year-over-year change. Again, this just goes over some of the price fluctuation. We're pretty much seeing about a 4% change in pricing in the Colorado market, and then you got into the sort of the 5%, and then even into the 6s when you get up into the upper East Coast areas. So when we look at key factors moving forward, what is the threat that's out there currently for the rest of 2019? That's going to be the risk of, and the threat is always going to be risk of rising interest rates and appreciation as far as homes. So if you currently own a home, the benefit is that you're going to be, it's just sort of like riding the train. You're going to ride the train of appreciation in general. Now, if you don't own a home and you're maybe a first-time home buyer, or you sold a home and got out of the market, now you're looking at getting into the market, the threat you have now is as homes continue to appreciate, you're right here and appreciation goes here. So there's that gap, and the gap will continue to get bigger. On average in the Front Range, I would say that homes are appreciating anywhere from $2,000 to as much as $4,000 a month. So that means you're potentially losing $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year in appreciation. I believe that that's going to be fairly consistent through 2019. If you're looking at considering making a move, there's a lot of move-up buyers out there in the market. What a move-up buyer is somebody that is currently in their home, they've been there 3, 5, 7 years, whatever it may be, and they're looking at saying our family has grown, or maybe we want to downsize because the kids are all out of the house. Whatever it may be, they're ready to make that next step, whether it be upgrading the neighborhood, size of home, or higher quality but smaller, whatever it is. A lot of people are deciding to make that move sooner rather than later because of interest rates. I had a conversation with a longtime friend and lender that said last week interest rates were in the low to mid 4 range, which is an 18-month low. And so so a lot of buyers are trying to take advantage of the low interest rates, knowing that we're going to probably be 5, 5.5, somewhere in that range by the end of 2019. If interest rates go from 4.5% to 5.5%, so 1% swing, that lowers your borrowing capacity by as much as 10%. So an example, if you wanted to have a principal and interest payment of $1,500 a month, and let's say ballpark of $300,000 loan, if interest rates go to 5.5%, to maintain that same payment of $1,500 a month, you would actually lower your loan amount by 10%, meaning that from $300 you go to $270 for a loan amount, costing you $30,000. So let's say that you did that happened over the next 12 months, and you lost out on the appreciation of, say, $20,000, $25,000, that could cost you as much as $50,000, $60,000 in lost opportunity. So the biggest thing is never jump in early, but make sure you're making educated decisions and you really understand the market and where you're at in the budgets. So again, talking about threats, when we look at the mortgage projections right now, we look at second quarter, we're floating around in the 4.5 range. And then when we look at what's going to happen towards the end of the year, they're projecting, pushing into that 5 range. These tend to be a little bit lower because these are net numbers comparison to when they actually get to the consumer. They're usually going to be about a quarter percent higher. So as always, we love to bring the numbers to you so you can make educated decisions. We appreciate all our referrals. That's how we grow our business, and our number one goal is the consumer experience and to do a great job for you and all of our clients. So if we can help you out in the Colorado Front Range, you can reach us at TerrellDavisGroup.com or 720-230-3030.